Welcome to Behind the Bower, where we hope to offer inspiring conversations, a fresh look at arts in our community, and provide spotlights on artists, performers, collaborative partners, and organizations. Here, we celebrate the universal expression of human experience through arts, culture, and community. I'm your host today, Lauren Hood, Program Coordinator for Bower Center for the Arts. In today's episode, I'm thrilled to be joined by a group of talented Liberty High School students and their wonderful art teacher, Ms. Friedwald, and we'll be exploring how our experiences with art have shaped their lives, both within and beyond the classroom. For these students, art isn't just a subject, it's a lens through which they see the world, a form of self-expression and a place to explore their unique voices. And for their teacher, it's a way to inspire and nurture creativity, curiosity, and resilience in a new generation. So join us as we dive into their journeys and uncover the ways art has enriched their lives. Hey, good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
So I'm just going to get us started. If you want to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit how you got into art, and if you want to just add what your preferred medium is, that'd be fun.
My name is Olivia. I'm a senior at Liberty, and how I got into art was I started in kindergarten, and I guess once you kind of just do something for so long, it kind of sticks to you. And my favorite medium is acrylic paint.
Awesome.
I'm Everett. I'm also a senior at Liberty High School. And I would say my love for art started when I was around like 3. When my parents got me my first camera. It was a little Kodak camera, and I started taking pictures of everything. And then that's where my love for photography began. And my favorite mediums are definitely photography and digital art, but I also like to draw with pencil or ink too.
Awesome.
And I'm Melissa Friedwald. I am Liberty High School's art teacher, and I've been there for 18 years now. How I got into art, it was always something that I loved when I was young, and I recognized that I had talent at it. But I grew up in a county that didn't have art in elementary or middle schools. So I didn't have that exposure to know that I could actually do anything with it until I got to high school and took art classes. And then it was, oh, hey, wait, you can actually have a career and use art for something. Yeah. My favorite medium is charcoal drawing.
Awesome. So I'm going to start with some questions for the students to get to know our students better. So who is your biggest artistic inspiration and why? And then if you want to share your favorite piece from them.
My favorite artist is Van Gogh. I see his paintings as very representational of like our world and earth as it is. Yeah. My favorite piece from him is Starry Night. I see when I look at the painting, it kind of brings like a sense of like calmness in the sky. So I would say that Van Gogh is my favorite.
That's awesome.
I have 2 favorite artists. I would say definitely John Maring and Vanny Wynn. John Maring is a photographer from the Richmond area that photographs skateboarding, and Vanny is a photographer that captures city life and experiments with layering multiple images to create a cohesive but chaotic piece. Mm-hmm. I don't have a favorite piece, but I have a favorite collection of work from John Maring. He had a collaboration with National Geographic, and they published a book called Skate the World, and it's a collection of skateboarding photos taken from various places around the world.
That's awesome. I forgot that it was just for students. I was looking at Ms. Friedwald and I was like, what's your favorite artist? Sorry.
Round table. Keep it going. I like Frida Kahlo.
That's a good one. I do like Frida. So how has your work changed over time? Like when you're looking back, is there a piece or a moment that signifies a turning point for you as an artist?
So when I started art, I wasn't really focused on the improvement of my work, but more of was I having fun while doing the work. So as I've gotten older and matured through my art, I've learned to do both.
Yeah.
So doing the love sign for the Bower Center was a big moment that I realized that, like, it's like, wow, like, I can actually do something that isn't just, like, drawing a stick figure or doing something like a smiley face. Like,
Yeah,
people can do a lot more than what they really think they can.
that's awesome.
I feel like once I started understanding Photoshop, especially after taking Miss Friedewald's digital art class, definitely the best teacher ever. But anyways, I started pushing the boundaries with more like abstract kind of work.
Mhm.
I feel like at first I was using Photoshop to just touch up my photos, but now I've been using it to experiment with layering and blending images.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. And we love our love sign that the Liberty High School students did. It's hanging up on our building, right on the side. Go check it out, by the way. It's really cool. So what have you learned about yourself through art?
I've learned that I can express myself more through my artwork, like how I'm feeling or different inspirations that I have.
Mhm.
But I've also learned as I've gotten older that I learn a lot about myself through art.
Yeah.
So as I continue to grow and I continue to learn more, I can see myself growing.
I love
I agree with what Olivia said. Like, I have learned that art is very therapeutic for me,
Mm.
and it's my outlet to express myself and my emotions, especially drawing. Because I can control how I want my piece to look based on emotion. Like, I can control how dark or light my lines are, how much contrast I want, or if I want my work to be sketchy or crisp. So
that. That's great. That's awesome, guys. So imagine you're hosting your own art exhibition anywhere in the world. Where would it be and what would the theme be?
I would love to do one at the beach
Oh, fun.
because when I do art, it makes me calm, and being at the beach also makes a lot of people calm.
Mhm.
And I would probably make the theme be Peace by the Sea just because it kind of just symbolizes like where it's at and how it makes you feel.
That's awesome. I would definitely go to that one.
um I would host mine in New York just because I've always wanted to go to New York. I think it's a beautiful city.
Yeah.
Um, and the theme of mine would be like a sort of like audio visual experience. I've gotten really into music production recently, so I think it would be cool to create like an audio visual experience by composing music inspired by photos I took and like pairing them together. So I would have like a pair of headphones beside each piece in the exhibition so the viewers could listen to the music while looking at the pictures.
Wow. That one's awesome too. Those were awesome answers. I love that. I would definitely go to both.
For sure.
So Miss Friedwald, some questions for you. What has been your favorite part about guiding these students through their artistic development?
Well, definitely watching them grow technically is really rewarding. But I also think, especially with kids like the ones that are with us here today, I've taught both of them since they were in 8th grade. So being in a department where you have the same students year after year after year, you really get to know them and you get to see them grow and turn into young adults. And I love that through their art, I can learn more about them than I think a lot of their teachers and other subjects are able to because, the projects that we do are just like open-ended questions that they have to formulate their own solution to. And so you see a lot of who they are in their artwork. And I love learning them and getting to know them and just watching them grow.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. How has teaching art to high school students influenced your own perspective on creativity and art making?
I think they keep me fresh.
Yeah.
As times have changed, and particularly I think as technology has changed, kids will be kids all day long, but the world that they live in is changing around them. And as somebody who didn't grow up with technology, because, I'm old, really, really old, it's easy to look at things that are happening now and not have patience for it, not have acceptance for it, not have understanding for it. But when you're working with the people who've lived with it their whole lives and grown up with it, it just gives you a different perspective and a greater appreciation for how things are changing.
Yeah, absolutely. What advice do you give to students who struggle with self-doubt when creating?
Oh boy. Gosh, I am by nature a cheerleader.
Yeah.
So it is, like I said, totally normal for me to just be like sitting there with pom-poms essentially and like, oh no, you've got this. Keep going, keep doing this. Trust yourself, trust the process. And I think a whole lot of the learning that happens in our classroom is based on the trust that I've formed with them. So they trust me. And when I say you can do this, they trust that process.
Yeah.
But we also have to have hard conversations sometimes where we say, this isn't going where we wanted it to go. And we have to learn when to throw in the towel and say not everything we do is going to be gold. But to know that difference of when to keep going, when to trust when you feel doubt, and when to say, okay, this is it, and quit beating your head against a wall, is a tough call. But like I said, I feel like cheering them on, they just keep pushing through.
Yeah, absolutely. What are your hopes for your students post high school, and how do you hope art will continue to play a role in their lives?
Well, I want them to be happy, healthy, productive citizens, and that is whether or not they intend to pursue a career in art or not. But I also hope that the experiences that they have in art, the learning that art gives them, the opportunities that it opens for, I guess, answers that don't have a right or a wrong. They don't have black or white. There's this huge gray area, and it's this critical thinking and problem solving that they can do in art that they can't always do in other subjects. And I hope that they take that with them, and that helps them in their future, regardless of what career plans they have.
Yeah.
I hope that they go into the next steps of their lives with more open minds and the ability to see things from different perspectives. And that I really just think that everything that we do in the art classes is setting them up for an opportunity to live more productive lives as adults, but also to have that sense of fulfillment, that sense of accomplishment, that they know they're good at this. And like I said, regardless of what they plan to do, I think everybody has something they can learn from taking art classes.
For sure. Absolutely. There's art everywhere, and there's art in everything.
Absolutely.
So I do have one final question for everyone that I did not send.
Ooh, it's a pop quiz.
So this one's for everyone. So why do you think the arts are important in education? Who wants to start?
I guess I could start. Okay. I think that without like having an option for art, it's like, will kids know how to like express themselves freely?
Yeah.
Or will kids understand like there's more to just art than drawing? Like I see art as a really big self-expression. So I guess I kind of just hope that art keeps arting, I guess.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Absolutely.
I think it's really important because it gives kids like a different option for an outlet. Like sports aren't everyone's like outlet to get emotions out. Well, through school, I'm thinking, but I feel like it gives kids like a healthy outlet to express themselves, and teaches them at a young age that they can do this to, help themselves when they're going through something and things like that.
Yeah, I think they've both got great answers in regards to finding your niche to I guess better understand yourself and to be able to almost like soothe yourself, if you will. But like I mentioned earlier, I grew up in a county where there was not art in elementary or middle school. And I'd get told 3 times a week minimum, oh, you're so good at that. And my other teachers saying, you should enter this contest. You should do this. You should make us this thing. But it never occurred to me without having any formal education that there actually was an opportunity for careers in art.
Yeah.
It just didn't even seem like a thing. So coincidentally, I wanted to be a teacher. And then I discovered you could be an art teacher. And that was like life-changing, clearly. But also going back to the things that students learn in art class that they just can't learn anywhere else. In math, there is a right or a wrong answer. It is one or the other. But art gives you an opportunity to see that your own life experiences, your own personality, all play into what you do, and ability to read that in other people's artwork, to just have a better understanding of the world around you, and to be able to come up with original ideas and process things in a different way that I think is lost on a lot of students right now, because we're such a cookie cutter standards of learning generation where, there's just a right and a wrong, and can you regurgitate that answer? So I don't know. I feel like every kid should have to take art. It should be required. And that's not just for job security purposes.
No, yeah. I 100% preach in the choir. That's, 100% agree. Well, thank you, everyone, for such an inspiring conversation this afternoon. And I just want to let the listeners know the Bedford County High School Art Show will be on display at Bauer Center for the Arts from April 22nd to May 3rd, 2025. So be sure to mark your calendars so you don't miss the chance to see these incredible students work firsthand. If you have a budding artist at home, visit our website at bowercenter.org or follow us on social media to learn about all our upcoming youth art classes. And for our homeschool families, we're excited to announce that our popular Friday homeschool programs are returning in February. There are limited spots, so head to the education tab on our website to learn more and get your student sign up today. Thank you as always for tuning in, and we look forward to catching you next week for another episode of Behind the Power.